Right, so many people were hit by the helpful content update, and it's just one of those things at this point. I'm a lot more resilient than I used to be when it came to these updates. After a while, you just realize, look, it's part of the game. It doesn't feel good. It definitely doesn't feel great, but it is part of the game, and you either quit and move on to the next thing or the next shiny object, or you stay the course, you're consistent, you're resilient, and you just come back even stronger. And that is my approach. That's absolutely my approach, and that is the approach I absolutely recommend. So without further ado, let's get into my strategy or my plan to come back from this helpful content update. Hashtag HCU comeback. And let me just say, this is not any sort of expert opinion. This is not me saying this is what you need to do. This is what I'm doing, and I'm going to be tweaking this as I go. These are just the things that I thought about doing before we were hit. These are the things that I was doing to improve my site as I made the transition from niche site to brand, which is something that I've been going on about with building your email list and really taking this thing from this 2D niche site to a 3D or 4D approach where you can stand on your own and you've built a moat around your business. And I know many people have mentioned that for a while, but I'm babbling on as usual. So let me just get into the things I'm going to be doing. So we've got Query Hunter, we've got Outranking IO, we've got CSS and HTML, author boxes with schema, we've got updated organization schema, same as logo, description, etc, etc. I don't think I've done an individual page for that, but I'll explain it after the author box. Bulk publishing spreadsheet and sending email traffic to existing blog posts. We've got Opus, Clip, social media shorts. We've got content pruning, ? And we've got bulk publishing. So first and foremost, you've probably heard about Query Hunter on Twitter. It's a tool by Joe Davies or Fat Joe. It's an awesome tool that connects to not just WordPress now, but also Wix and Shopify and other platforms. But you connect it to your WordPress, and it connects to Google Search Console and looks at the terms and keywords that you are getting impressions for that you're not covering, or it shows you how many times you've mentioned a single keyword and other keywords that you're getting impressions for, whether you've mentioned them or not. And now it also lets you create a paragraph or a sentence with that query in it. So I'm actually going to be improving and editing the content alongside this method. I'm not just finding random queries and throwing them in. I'm adding more context to the post and also removing the fluff where necessary. So I've been editing my content for a while now. Just before I got hit, I saw a nice spike and a nice upward trend. So I'm going to continue on with that method. So editing and improving articles and adding these keywords that I'm already getting impressions for that I'm currently not covering in the post. With regards to improving the content, I'm not really focused at this point on additional images unless I can create a simple infographic, which would be a vertical infographic, and then I would add that to the page. But I'm not incredibly focused on images at this point. So Outranking IO is the easiest way to explain it. Is it's very similar to Surfer SEO. It allows you to analyze your pages, the ranking, the keyword that you're targeting, and other semantically related keywords that you should be including based on the top articles showing up in the SERPs for that keyword. A really good tool, very, very complex. I've had it since I got the lifetime deal on AppSumo, and I always go back to it, but it is a time-consuming thing. When you're zeroing in on the one project and you're focusing on one project, it's very easy to use and go back and forth, but when you're doing multiple sites, it's a lot. But I'm glad I still have that subscription, or I have that lifetime deal. It has a bunch of different features, but my main thing is going to be looking at the page and seeing where I can improve based on my competitors. So while Query Hunter is giving me the related keywords that I'm already covering in a sense because I'm getting traffic from them and impressions from them, Outranking is going to give me the semantically related keywords that should appear on the page, and I can strategically place those and add questions and things like that. It also tells me what kinds of headings I might be missing in my content. So again, this is a more hands-on approach to diving into your article and really making it the best that you can. Now, this one is one, again, just before the hit, I saw a huge jump, and one of the things I had been doing alongside going in and improving existing articles was based on something Nina Clapperton of She Knows SEO had mentioned, and she said she added author boxes to her page, and I was like, okay, why haven't I done that? So I went straight to ChatGPT and I asked it to create me an author box. So I told it to write the code for it. I think at first it gave me HTML snippet that I would put on one page, but I wanted it to hard code it into my function PHP, or give me some code which would then allow me to put short codes in the article. So there are a few ways that you can do this. Somebody mentioned before using a plugin called Code Snippets, and that means you don't have to mess with the function's PHP file. Or if you have a theme that has the FSC, the full site editor, you don't have to worry about trying to get into your code or breaking anything. You can just use the plugin, add the code that way. And also you can add a rule so it applies to specific pages. I wanted to do the short code. Maybe I just like doing things the hard way, but I chose to do the short code way. And then I used WP Sheets to apply it to all posts of a specific author. And of course, if you have multiple authors, you can make these for each of them and you can slightly change the CSS. So if you don't know coding, yeah, that's fine. I use ChatGPT, and you can again ask ChatGPT to design this for you and amend the CSS. And if you don't like what it gives you, you can just tell it, okay, I want this, I want a shadow, I want you to round the boxes, I want you to do this and that, and it will do it. And all you have to do is copy and paste that into your customized menu. So additional CSS. Very simple, very straightforward. It's the best thing you can do. In fact, I've just been going crazy with CSS of late to really customize my site the way I want it to look. And I definitely recommend that. ChatGPT is your best friend. Again, remember to tell it to add the schema, and you want it to link to your author page. So hopefully you have an author page designed and written out, and then you're going to tell it to add the person schema and link to this page, that page, and you can put your Twitter or your YouTube or any logos that you want to have in the box. You can add those in and it will do all of that. It does an amazing job. On that note of schema, the other slide that I forgot to add was the organization schema. So you probably have this enabled, especially if you have rank math on your site. You probably have your schemas set up, but you can amend your organization schema and you can get ChatGPT to help you. And when you're editing your organization schema, you want to add those social pages if you have them. So you can tell it to add the schema so it says same as LinkedIn, same as Twitter, same as YouTube, and then you put all your URLs and it's going to allow Google to associate you with those pages. I've got it to do that, and I've also edited like the tagline of the site, the description, the logo for the site. And again, you can ask ChatGPT to think about more ways that you can enrich your schema, your organization schema. So you can just say, is there anything else I need to add that would improve my blah, 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 and it's going to help you. So I recommend every time you get ChatGPT to do something for you, ask it if there's anything you can do to make it better, because it's going to give you the default options and the default thing, but you can tell it, what can I do to make this more X? What can I do to improve Y? And it's going to do that. So definitely recommend that. Email traffic. I'm using the bulk publishing system, which is the Google Sheet, to generate emails based on my existing blog posts. This isn't something new to me. I've been doing this for a while now, using the sheet to come up with newsletters or topics or email topics based on specific keywords I'm targeting, and it will do a very good job. And of course you click and drag, so it's generating emails down the list, and then I'll go in and I'll edit those and tailor those to the product or the page that I want to promote. So that's what I'm going to be doing, but this time around I'm going to be exporting all of my blog posts, and I'm looking for opportunities that I can create an email and link back to that. So of course in your export of your site posts, you've got the URL, you've got all of that information. So when you start to talk to the AI, you can tell it to add these internal links, and then you can schedule your posts. So it will require me going in to double check and make sure I clean things up, but this is a very quick way to link back to those posts that you've got. Hopefully you don't do this 100% automated and send trash out to your email list and get loads of unsubscribes. Hopefully if you try this method, you're looking more at the system and what's possible than just blindly doing, or completely automating it with AI. So yeah, going through, seeing what can be cleaned up, improved, and then scheduled. And again, this is an opportunity to promote my digital product on the site, which has been doing really well as well. And the aim is just to send more traffic to the site outside of Google and see what effect that has. If it does anything good, if it lets Google know that people like this and they're coming back, whatever the case may be, that's what I'm doing. This is a fun one. This one I got from Carl Broadbent, and he mentioned months back now. I've been using it ever since, and they've been improving the tool. It was quite new when he mentioned it, so I put it down and came back. But it's called Opus Clip, and it takes a video that you upload or a YouTube video, and it uses AI to convert them into shorts. So they're vertical, TikTok, YouTube short, Instagram Reels type video content. And it adds AI captions, and you can add your logo to it. Very simple, but again, it connects to Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, and also LinkedIn, but I don't use it for my niche site. So connect to those three, and with minimal time commitment and being very easy to outsource, I definitely recommend trying that. If you have your social media pages set up for your site, it's a one-click thing. So connect your social pages, one click, outsource it, whatever you want to do. It's just to sort of build up your brand and your social media presence with your site. Content pruning. I see this everywhere. I've never been a fan of it. I don't like the idea. I put my content up there. I was happy with it. And now I'm deleting it. Not really understanding that. But loads of people swear by it. And who am I to deny something I've never tried? So we'll see. I'm going to do all the other stuff first. Give it some time, because we don't want to do too much at once and then not know what's worked. And I know I have mentioned quite a few things here, but again, these are things I was going to be doing as an overall boost for my site. But content pruning is a question mark for me. I'm going to do the other things, see how that goes. If things are not looking great, I'll look at articles that aren't doing well. Before I cut them, I'm going to look and see what I can do to improve them. If I need to send additional links to them, I'll look at why they're not doing well. I'll look at what is doing well for that query, and I might be able to see what I'm missing and improve them rather than just axe them. So that's why there's a question mark next to content pruning. Next is bulk publishing, question mark. Yes, absolutely. I'm still adding content to my site. I was going to be doing this anyway. And I've noticed that since this update, there is a specific cluster that Google loves my site for. So why would I not continue to publish content in that cluster? There's no reason. I'm publishing content in that cluster. I am continuing with my internal linking. I'm continuing with that method. It's a specific template that I've made for a specific type of query, and it's not very easily taken over by Reddit or Quora, which is awesome. So I think there might be something in there. I haven't delved deep enough to really give any feedback on if that is a thing. But it does make sense that if it's not something that's easy to replicate by AI or SGE or Reddit or Quora, then it's probably something that Google has no other choice but to push you up for, which looks like it's happening. So yes, still bulk publishing, still building out my templates, and I'm going to continue that. Now, before I close out, I do want to say, I know some people are going to look at some of these things I've mentioned and they're going to try and action them immediately. But again, what I will say is do a content audit. Content audit isn't something you absolutely must necessarily pay somebody for. You can pay someone for it. There are people that offer that service. That's completely up to you. I don't offer that service, but absolutely use a tool like Screaming Frog or Integrity Pro or Sitebulb, just so you could look and see any immediate things on your site that might be broken. Because in this HCU recovery thing, I've not mentioned technical SEO, which is a huge part of it. So I have mentioned things like schema and adding those things, but technical SEO goes way deeper in that, and I am not qualified to tackle that. But running your URL through one of those types of tools that will show you if you've got broken pages, internal, external links leading to broken pages or non-existing pages, pages missing, alt text and titles and meta descriptions. These are things that you definitely would want to tackle. These are things that Google does read. Before you go off and start doing major things, it might be worth looking at the structure of your site. Not it might be, it's absolutely worth looking at the structure of your site. So that's it. I hope this was useful. And if it was, please drop a comment below. You are welcome to hashtag HCU comeback and share what you're going to be doing. If anything on this list is new to you, something you're going to include in your HCU comeback, and also anything that I've missed that you think might be a good idea that I can include in my HCU comeback. That's it, guys. Of course, links to anything I've mentioned will be in the description, and I'll see you on the flip side.